everyone, we are back with a semifinal game, Spicy Waffles facing off against Night's Watch in this particular one. I know everyone has been looking forward to this particular matchup. We'll see if MoX keep count of how many times he dies to the Fire Giant in this particular match. Nevertheless, I'm Zayden, here with Ymir, and the bands are underway already.
They are underway already. Poseidon banned out by the boys of Spicy Pointless Waffles, whatever you want to call them. It's a mixture of those two teams that you saw previously in the Pro League qualifiers. They banned out Poseidon, they've banned out Sylvanus, and across the way, the Night's Watch have taken away Thor and Athena. What's left on the table then? Well, Serqet is available.
Serqet, a bunch of the 80 carries still up. Some Thor's actually banned out. I'm trying to think of the last guy. Serqet getting hovered over for the first pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one actually get locked in. We've seen Serqet do reasonably well. I think she's lost one game we've seen her in so far, this weekend at least. Going back to the other side, they have some pretty powerful picks. Honor's still available. They could go potentially for the Cupid as well, kind of do the passive ban on Xbalanque just by picking that up themselves. They could also look for a support pickup here as well, potentially. Geb is still available, and if they don't pick it here, I have a feeling that Spicy Waffles may look to pick it up in their next little picking phase.
Yeah, well, it's back over to them now to choose what they're going to try and take up for themselves. They could look for support priority picks here. Bacchus is available, even though people might not think Bacchus is an earlier on pick is going to be good. But the Hunters are all available too. And her Xbalanque, Cupid, all on the table right now. You could look for their priority there. But at the moment, we're actually hovering over Xbalanque and Agni.
And Xbalanque does get locked in. This does leave the door open for Cupid. This could be one of these little mind game things. Maybe MoX wants to be going up against the Cupid. Crazier things have happened in the past. You just have to, if you play very carefully and can avoid that Fields of Love, you can just, if you still have freeze, you're Rising Jaguar, you can move around as you might otherwise do so. But, if you get caught out in the middle of it, Cupid is going to be laying down a whole lot of hurt. And then back over the middle lane, Agni, kind of a staple these days. A lot of damage, pretty good wave clear, pretty safe in lane as well. Kind of just a standard middle of the line pick.
Well, you called the Cupid, and the Cupid has been locked in now by the boys of Spicy Waffles. No surprise up against the Xbalanque, and Ymir alongside it, so they've gone for the priority support ahead of time. Bacchus is locked in for the boys of the Night's Watch. Night's Watch did go for the Bacchus last game round as well. They're quite comfortable with that one. Wolf of Elo Street seems to be quite comfortable playing it. And now we're into counterban phase once again.
Yeah, Bacchus getting picked up. I'm a little surprised, honestly, that Geb was overlooked. It comes down sort of to personal preference. Some people never really got on the whole Geb is awesome train. And, well, with, Bacchus picked up, that does answer that question. Down to the bans, however. Scylla getting banned out of the mid lane. Don't want to have her going up against that Agni. And also taking Nemesis off the table, potentially removed from the jungle. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty safe pick. She's been a very good god, stripping the protections off of any god, and of course all the slows coming out, but that is a big lock-in. He has a history of not working too well, although Season 2, the fact that he has penetration makes him a bit better than he was. I
mean, the penetration factor that he has available to him free of charge, and is a big thing that's going to make him stronger. The issue is, though, the amount of assassins that we've seen in the jungle come out. Bastet was still available. Humbats was also available as well. I'm surprised that they've gone for the Thanatos pick here. I guess they're looking to really put the pressure onto Serqet early in this game. Thanatos versus Serqet in the early stages. Thanatos definitely has the stronger early game of the two, but then once they both hit 5, Serqet's kind of like 6 to level 9. She really starts to come online. But he's back up as a pointless again. Sorry, pointless. Spicy Waffles. Got to stop calling him that. My goodness me. And they've actually going to be looking at getting Hell and Kukulkan. Now, picking Hell before you've seen what the enemy picks is a risky business to make. There's a few good picks that are good up against this Hell. And NQ's the solo laner for the boys of the Night's Watch. He should know his matchups.
Definitely. Habwa was briefly hovered over, switching over to Nuwa now, however. Nuwa has a decent bit of range poke. That Shining Metal, especially if you can land the combo with the Clay Soldiers, can be absolutely devastating. Of course, there's the Fire Shards providing a lot of vision, although hovering back over the Habwa, if they make up their mind, that would of course be nice, but for now, Habwa, same sort of deal. A Water Spout into a Water Cannon, crushing waves, and another Water Cannon. It's a lot of damage. If Hell happens to be in Dark Stance, what happens? It's going to be a real rough. Can she switch over in time? Although, of course, they could skip the Habwa and Nuwa altogether and go for Tyr instead.
Now, the Hell pick up early on is, I'm going to be interested to see if he goes to the Hog. does Arnking. If Arnking goes for Hog early on here, because they could potentially get invaded by Tyr and Thanatos at the start of this game. Serqet, Hell, not normally traditionally going to see 2 Hogs be picked up by them, but if they don't do that, they could be invaded on. That could cause them an issue in the early game. Hell without a blue buff is going to have a few issues in this lane. Tyr versus Hell in general in the matchup, Hell can win that lane 1v1. Tyr can do well in it as well. It's all about the early game pressure that Hell tries to put out, and if you can shut that one down, will it help them out? It's going to be interesting to see Kukulkan in the mid lane though, up against Agni. Pretty much a farm off lane. Kukulkan's looking for the mid to late game stages. Wait for him to just get his stacks online more than anything else.
Definitely. That said, guys, we're going to cut to a quick little brief break, about a minute long. We'll be in game and all synced up and ready to go. Stick around. It's Spicy Waffles facing off against Night's Watch in the semifinals here in just a bit. Alright, guys, we're into the game itself. Spicy Waffles facing off against the Night's Watch. I'm Zidon here with Hindu once again. Over this right side lane, you know, it's all going to come down to, not all going to come down to, but a big part of this is going to come down to this early game invade. You touched on the fact that Hell without a blue buff is going to have a very, very hard time in lane.
Yo.
She did not go for the Hand of the Gods either. Tyr has Blink to start, though, so no double hog coming out.
Check out what Moex has.
Moex potion. Can't find him. Oh, I actually...
Xbalanque.
Throwing dagger. This is an interesting
one. Dagger start. Now, what he's looking to do here is Moex is looking for the early crit aggression in this lane. If he can get a lucky crit off, it can swing the lane huge. The problem is he lacks a little bit of sustain. Obviously, he's not going to have any extra health because he's not going to have the Bluestone Pendant. He's also not going to have any regen on his mana, so he's going to watch his mana costs. Xbalanque not the greatest at mana costs. This is a risky strategy, in my opinion, especially with a Bacchus, because the wave clear is definitely the enemy team's favor by going for this, because he's not got much mana at the beginning of the game.
Indeed, right now it doesn't look like they're going for that invade. They have to be looking to set up a Blink Fearless one as soon as they get the lane. That's why Tyr started with that rather than Hand of the Gods. It does free him up for that extra active slot later on in the game, of course. They might be looking for the Weakening Curse on him rather than Bacchus, but I mean, it's going to come down to the early, and I mean, do they go for the early invade and look to shut this down? Do they look for that first kill in lane? Either way, I mean, Hell is going to be a reasonably rough matchup for Tyr to deal with. So much poke, so much stain from Hell. Can Tyr even look to do a one-shot combo if she catches him in a Fearless?
NQ's just got to watch for the respect more than anything else. I mean, there is a potential chance at level 2 when they both hit lane here that NQ could blink in, get Hell into a full combo with the support of Thanatos and find a kill. If that does not happen, it'll be a farm off, and NQ has to play it very safe as he'll get pushed in very hard during the early stages and look towards the mid game when he actually gets a couple of items online. Because at the moment he's gone for a standard sort of build, not much defense in the way of things. If you look at Hell, she's already started working on Breastplate and Valor just to reduce the potential damage that could come out there.
The Breastplate start is, I don't know. It's one of those odd type situations. The cooldown reduction is, of course, always very nice, but it's only a little bit of physical protection. When you're a squishy character like Hell is, you don't have a large health pool to work with to begin with. You're not increasing your overall effective health as much as you would have with some other defensive items. But of course, things like, you know, a Mystical Mail or something like, not a Mystical Mail, a Midgardian Mail, something like that, would be the ideal, like, oh, fully defensive against these warrior guys. But you know, a Midgardian Mail as a mage does you absolutely nothing. So you're kind of forced into the Breastplate of Valor. You get the cooldown, you get the mana. It works out well, but you know, it's kind of an, I don't want to say, I think awkward item is kind of the best way to put it. It does what's supposed to.
First jungle rotation's happening. Jabba has swung to mid lane to support Kukulkan. There's no minions here though right now for him to do anything. Just gonna have to hang here a little while longer, and that's actually giving a little bit of an experience lead to Zindan for this rotation. He is going to be a little bit further ahead. Boba's just waiting for the minions to come in. Has to get in range because obviously the range of Wolfie with those whirlwinds are going to be able to drop those minions down if he's not close enough before he can actually get experience range. Bit of poke to Carino there. Going to disengage straight away. Left hand side checking in with that. So far, Moex is under pressure again. Over in this lane, he's not managed to get anything going with this just now.
In trouble.
Is he down?
There's the one more ability, not gonna miss, and not gonna take that trim damage. If Hell had been able to close the gap once more, and him with a point blank AoE like that, NQ is really having a rough time right now. Arcing has that range. Mana buffs are about to fall off though, so NQ with a fuller mana bar plus that Bluestone Pendant is gonna have a better time in lane. Serqet's waiting nearby, ambushed up. If NQ comes forward to wave clear, he's probably gonna be first blood here in just a second. There comes Serqet.
Serqet does come in, but the Fearless chain was good from NQ to disengage for now. There's no follow-up going to happen there, so NQ does get himself out of trouble for the time being. 2 minutes 42 into this game now. We're looking for the mid-harpies to spawn very, very soon. About 10 seconds time now, as we can see, Floriki's already rotated level 4. Wolfavilo Street a little bit late to the party, but he is Bacchus, so can flop into range if required. As the mid laners continue farming up, the junglers are trading on the right a little bit, though.
They are Night's Watch establishing control of the right side Harpy camp. I believe that ended up going 1-for-1, although the left side is still in contention. Ninja Bobat jumping over the wall, actually. Not really going to contend against their own team, probably. So they're going to pick those up 1-for-1. So far, an even game. No real lead gained by either of these teams right now. Arn King out of mana once again. Looking to go back to base, pick up her first items of the game. Probably finish off that Breastplate of Valor to be a larger pool of mana for her to work with once she gets back. Although she's going for the Magic Shoes rush, picking up those boots early instead.
The mobility will help her, some mana potions as well. Going to be able to sustain 2 wards just in case she has to deal with Thanatos. Remember, Thanatos won't come from the natural ganking angles most of the time. Will normally come from death from above, which means you want to be warding the same places you would against a Thor, around the Fire Giant pit, really. So keep an eye on where he places those wards down. And Cube goes back to base himself, continues working on his boots. He's having a little think about what else to get. Going to get himself a couple of health potions and a ward himself. So far, everything's all pretty stable in this game. There's a small experience lead and gold lead for the boys of the Night's Watch right now. It's nothing to write home about now because everybody's going to be walking back to lane and that'll even up any second.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of an edge here potentially for Arn King to push this way up to the tower, but Tyr has arrived back as well. Just kind of freeze the lane, doesn't want to push it too far too forward, let NQ kind of establish a freeze back towards his side of the lane. Arn King's going to have a pretty safe time at this point. Tyr, full combo, probably not going to find a kill at this point in time, unless Thanatos does come in to help things out. So the fact that Arn King right now kind of running around, dropping down that ward, that big spot is that Fire Giant pit. We see so often Thor's and Thanatos' both very much like to use that spot to start their ultimates to start a fight out. And Zinder, there he is in the middle of it, going up in the air. Arn King knows this one's coming in.
He knows it's coming in, but he's already been aggressed on by NQ. He knows the dunk's coming down. We're going to see it land very, very surely onto Arn King there. Full wombo combo online. Arn King was not going to be able to get away from this one. His jukes around the minions were good, but they weren't good enough to prevent first blood. Even though he had good ward coverage, just couldn't do anything to keep himself alive.
Exactly. Rough one there. It's not going to be too big of a shutdown. The blue buff was not yet in hand. If they can make it back there in time and secure that for Arn King, it'll be right. Tyr, though, looking like he's going to go for some minions in the mid lane. To get in that full wave experience is good. He can then look to contest on the tail end of this. Arn King, though, will have the help of Ninja Bobat more likely than not to secure that mana buff. Tyr's on his way. Which way is this going to go right here? He's actually just going to go back to base. Just dropping that ward down.
Drop the ward down, go back to base, get some vision of the possible rotation. Bobat's been spotted now on that side of the map, which will let the boys of the Night's Watch know there's a potential aggression on the left-hand side. They won't find anything for now, though, as mid-wave is available. Carino has picked up Doom Orb at the beginning of this game, so he's going to be stocking that one up early on. A lot of damage potential on Carino here. Probably going to go into boots, followed by Spear, so keep an eye on him. He's definitely a gank target for Serqet to be looking for to keep those stacks lower. Meanwhile, Wolfie across the way playing this Kukulkan. Was looking towards go for Book of Thoth, but go for the safer option and just investing in boots too for now. We'll still be working on that Book of Thoth eventually, just not yet.
If she goes Shoes of Magi route as well, he'll get a big chunk of 250 mana from that, plus a little bit of magical power, so it'll still work out fairly well to finish it off before the Book of Thoth. Book of Thoth, though, is a pretty nice damage spike, just getting that's 100 magical power straight up, a decent chunk of mana, and then when you build those stacks up, he's getting double benefit both from his passive and the item itself, synergizing. He gets twice the mana from the amount of mana he has in his overall mana pool. So Doom Orb coming up,
Hoppies get short out left hand side though. Moex gets killed by a heart bomb. Celebratory play from Moex there of using the Darkest of Nights when he was already dead. There's not much else he could do about it. The heart bomb was good enough from the Bushy to secure the kill. Found himself the advantage in this lane. The build has not worked out for him this time round. Throwing daggers, start, look for the lucky crits. It's not worked out for him. And on top of that, he's behind on Devourer's Gauntlet, stacking 2 now.
Yep, Spicy Waffles looking like they might be considering attempt at the Gold Fury, but they have found a fight in Night's Watch and not looking to let them get that Gold Fury for free. They're looking at that
NQ's rotation here is very, very good, but the problem is he's going to get picked off with a full wombo combo. NQ goes down there to the last breath as well as the Kukulkan Spirit of the 9 Winds, combining nicely for the setup there. Good combination, and now they've got a potential for the Gold Fury again.
Yep, a bit of a sense that some Night's Watch are the ones in favor for this particular instance of it. Now that dual lane matchup. Moex picked that Xbalanque first, knowing full well the potential that Cupid could come out in response to it was there. So when you make these picks and you make look at these kind of odd itemization choices, you have to make sure you're going to come out victorious in these. Xbalanque versus Cupid, we generally consider Cupid to be the winner. Cupid's the kind of counter to Xbalanque these days to begin with. When you go for that odd build as well, I don't know.
I mean, that whole lane between Xbalanque and Bacchus against the Ymir Cupid lane is going to be a rough lane overall. You're going to get pushed under the tower. You've got to respect that more than anything else. You're just going to have to farm up and play safe throughout the majority of the Moix got picked once. Will it happen again? We'll find out. He does have an assist to his name because he did use the Darkest of Nights in the previous engagement to get that one online for himself. But what he'd really be looking to do now is he's going to have to play super safe. His Bushy here has already got 31 stacks in those Devour's gauntlets already. Gold Fury has been started.
They have Spicy Waffles dumping a lot of damage. Darkest of Nights coming out. They are aware this is going on. Agni's here looking to rainfire those bombs down. Ninja Puppet's low in health. One more could find the kill. Ambush going to be in time to leap on out. Gold Fury did go to Spicy Waffles. Here's Thanatos from the skies looking for something, but was not able to find it. Kukulkan going to be able to sneak his way back out to his lane as well. So Night's Watch were aware and they tried to respond, but just got to the party a little too late in that particular instance.
Yep, there's nothing else they could really do there, honestly, and I like the disengage from Spicy Waffles. They got what they wanted and left immediately. Didn't hang around, didn't try to pick up kills, went back to the safety of farming once again with that nice little gold lead they just generated for themselves as well.
And other than that Gold Fury, the game is fairly close right now. It's Golden Experience, both really just in favor of Spicy Waffles on the back of that Gold Fury. They got that kill a little bit earlier as well, which of course helped them out in that regard. But Jungle Boss respawning right now. I see a damage buff on the left-hand side of the map getting picked up by Wolfie. The damage buff on the Night's Watch side going to be picked up here in short order, more likely than that as well. Eel Street caught by the Frost Breath and Glacier Strike. Heart Bomb connected as well. Serqet is here. They're looking for the kill, but the belly flop will get you past that wall. But
oh no, but he just stunned Moix as well, and now Moix is going to be the casualty of war because Wolf of Eel Street just belly flopped into his teammate and gave him the Heart Bomb of justice. Wolfie over the wall. Is he going to go for it? Oh, I thought he was. Thought we might have saw the Spirit of the Nine Winds come out then. They're actually looking for a rotation with a red buff here, potentially. Bobat and Wolfie waiting around looking for it, but Flurry Cube does actually pick up a low street underneath the tower, and they're stealing away buffs now.
Yeah, Kukulkan was looking for the squall through the wall, didn't quite find that steal. Attack speed buff, however, will be stolen away. Rainfire bombs from Agni trying to stop them from picking those up. Ninja Bot going back in for that one little dumpling before she heads back off into her jungle. Rainfire come down, Deathbane to avoid it. Harpies are up, and right now, right side, I believe, went over to Kukulkan, and left side will have gone to Serqet. So, Spicy Waffles are looking to grab control of this game.
Yeah, they're in a good position right now, are the boys of the Spicy Waffles. Taking the Gold Fury down, they're winning in most of their lane matchups. Duo's doing a good job. Agni's holding firm in mid lane, hasn't died yet, so that Duo mob's going to be coming online. Kukulkan's still doing what he wants to, though, and farm. He's just gone back and got Book of Thoth. Meanwhile, though, NQ's like the saving grace, honestly, at the moment, just because he's gone even with this health so far. Hasn't really had too much trouble with her, but that gank from Zindan early on really set that one up for the most part. What you need to see is Nightwatch's composition is pretty strong towards the later stages of the game, but you can't take away what Spicy Waffles have as well. They're going to have a really good team fight initiation, as well as some great sustain coming out from Arnking with those heals. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to get some healing reduction online to deal with hell in the later stages.
Tyr does have the Silver Talisman. We've been seeing a lot of Heartward amulets on the Soul Laners these days. That could, of course, still become a Pestilence to provide that AoE anti-healing aura. Looking at the other stuff, though, Book of Thoth did just come online for Kukulkan. Wolfie is going to be getting a decent bit of power spike from that. Not to mention those stacks. His mana pool is going to be going up higher and higher. He's going to have a lot more mana to work with in lane. Plus, of course, again, that double passive effect. His passive gives him more magical power based on how much mana he has, and the Book of Thoth has pretty much the identical passive. The more mana you have, the more power the Book of Thoth will give you. So double synergy if you happen to be playing Kukulkan by going that route.
Oh, the lane freeze could get him killed here. They're going to get blinked on by Flurry Q on the left-hand side. Now Ninja Bobat is here as well. Waits for the Darkest of Nights to go on cooldown. They're not going to chase anymore, but it did force a free ultimate out of Moix there for the disengage. Zindan was floating around in the area to support if required. But what they were doing there was lane freezing to try and catch up and experience a little bit of re-engage again from Bobat. They're going to find Wolf of Elo Street.
He's caught down in the middle of that field of love. He's going to jump through, not enough time. Oh, Zindan from through the skies coming down, finding that stun combo, still looking more. The execute was good there. Rainfire, Karinya looking for a kill. Zindan getting low. Shards of Ice not going to be charged in time for that kill. Spirit of the Nine Winds not going to connect, but does find Mox for damage. They're still looking for more as they might look to dive this one out here. Wolfie going to drop one more squall, not going to be enough. And getting some damage back. I think they're not going to have the health bars ready to look to go under the tower right now.
They're not going to go onto the tower. What I do like from the solo lane is they both rotated over here to support. It looks like NQ's got the lead, but he knows Arnking's behind him, so instead of chasing around, he's just going to go pressure onto Arnking in the mid lane instead. Left-hand side, Spicy Waffles starting to siege this tower. They should be able to bring down the first tower of the game here, but Zindan's coming back once again. He's thinking about coming round, but Hell could be the one that gets caught out here. She might have seen the rotation coming from Zindan. She knows she's trying to get away sooner rather than later because the boys are starting to swarm on her.
Yeah, left side tower falling, though. Nice Watch realized that the fact that Spicy Waffles are going to be rotating into the jungle to help out Arnking. They went ahead and backed off. They're rushing off the right side. They're sticking around the mid lane. NQ heading back over to the right side to get that wave of minions. As is Thanatos, not really much over there for them to go for. If Ninja Bobat can close the gap, lift that Deathbane and find the Corpus because his engine might be in a spot of trouble. He could look to go up in the skies and get away. He's not going to have the time, though. Bushi finds the kill. Cupid right now 2-0-3. He's starting to build himself a nice big gold lead, and you don't want Cupid getting fed early.
No, you don't, and especially in a matchup where he's got an advantage against Xbalanque. The whole team of Spicy Waffles have done this right, though. They took down left tower, groups up as a team now. They realise they've got an opportunity to start grouping, try to keep the pressure on with the Gold Fury just spawning. They're going to head over to there. Hell's going to return to right to clear up that minion wave. Kukulkan's back in base, watch him clear this ward out and wait for their teammate and Kukulkan to arrive. Wolfie will be on his way now, and he's up to the Night's Watch to defend against this one once more.
Yep, Tyr does have the Creepier Curse online right now. It's going to more likely than not be that Weakening Curse to provide more anti-healing going forward. Hell is probably one of the better healers in the game overall. That big, huge upfront burst is a huge factor in fight. Someone's about to die, boom, suddenly the health shot back up to about a third of their health bar overall. Ra's a good healer. Aphrodite is a good healer as well, but a big part of the problem with those guys, it is a heal over time effect. If you get burst down before that heal actually fully heals you up, well, it doesn't really do much good that you were getting healed a little bit at a time. So hell, that big burst is very effective. Plus, you can remove crowd control as well with that cleanse. And provide
we do talk about healing reduction, and I like what NQ is going for here. Already got Pestilence online, going to give us some magical protection as well as health to deal with Kukulkan, and also reduce the healing effect from Hell. Also, he's working on the Weakening Curse, but in the jungle now, Wolfie gets a little bit poked down there. Carino going to disengage before Ninja Bobat turns up. But with Path of Flames on cooldown, and there's two members on the right hand side, this is potentially a free goal for you for Spicy Waffles.
He's looking to skirt. Spirit of Nine Winds comes down across the field, but did not find much. Night's Watch will steal away the gold. Fury coming in that one. Flurky, though, gets the kill to answer back. Thanatos in the middle as NQ finds one, still looking for more. Flurky is so low. There's the Lawbringer coming in from NQ, looking for the kill. We'll find it with the Fearless. The fight still continues on the backside of the fight. They might look for more. NQ not ready to leave this one quite yet.
No, is it going to survive that heart bomb? NQ's going to force a disengage now, though. Bushy's still trying to look for kills. He's going to chase around the back, see if he can find Zindan or Moex, who he knows are both on low HP. Zindan trying to clear that buff out, to steal it away at the same time as staying himself back up. Watch the lazy backs, though. You don't want to get picked too much. Carino dodges the heart bomb for now, but they do lose red buff. But the Gold Fury went to the Night's Watch, which brings the gold lead down.
Indeed. Right now, it's back down to about a 1,500 gold lead. Only one Gold Fury separating things as far as gold is concerned. Spicy Waffles have a little bit of an experience lead as well right now, but look, both those graphs, a big dip on the back of that Fire Giant. A Gold Fury attempt by Spicy Waffles where it backfired pretty badly for them. I mean, going forward, it's one of those things. You want to make these big plays, you want to start the team fight, but when you have someone like Bacchus who can come in, throw that Intoxicate down, and do a big burst of damage, and do the Gold Fury on basically his own terms, you have to be ready to pull back off and just commit to the fight or go into full retreat mode. You leave someone like Bacchus to set it up. I mean, yes, Ymir has a Shards of Ice, but he didn't set it up beforehand. He didn't have that big charge ready to burst it down for those last few percent.
Yep, Bacchus has one of the best engages to try and steal away buffs in the game. With Intoxicate, you can burst it at the same time as Hog. Belly Flop for the knock-up effect, which you can't beat out of. So he's got a lot of available things to kind of do issues and try and secure them. They let him get in on that one then in the end. Nice Watch, but out of position, but played it correctly, got themselves the Gold Fury, and a couple of kills off the back of it, which like brought him back into it a little bit. At the same time, though, Spicy Waffles still in the lead, still have the opportunity in that right hand the right-hand tower near where NQ is now. He's slowly being chipped away and will drop very soon if Ankin keeps the pressure up there.
Yep, both Harpy Cams actually going over to Spicy Waffles right now. Every little bit, of course, helps. Mid lane grouping by Night's Watch, but they're really not going to be able to find much to do here in the little bit of the next couple seconds as Spicy Waffles are heading back to their own side of the jungle. Taking a peek down at the items right now, the Book of Thoth about halfway stacked up. Zindan, though, caught out his right side jungle, does get away. Dark Knights came down, not going to accomplish too much. Everyone was kind of out safely at that point already.
But he poked quite hard onto Ninja Bobat, which is potentially forcing him a recall. Blink Kid from NQ, he was looking for a play, not going to find it. Like we said, he eats a lot of tower damage. Flurky played that pretty well. Unfortunate about the wall being a little bit late, otherwise NQ could have been really trapped and forced a Lawbringer out of that one.
Some of the things right now, I mean, mid Harpy's down, Gold Fury is about halfway respawn. The right side towers are probably going to be the next real objectives to fall. The Soul Laners, they get a split second over there on their own. The tower will fall. All they really have to do is push a minion wave forward. Ooh, NQ caught out right side jungle, probably going to fall right here. Fearless used to run away. Reinforcements are coming nearby. Lawbringer it for distance, but the poison from Ninja Bobat going to be more than enough to secure that kill. Wolfie caught up by the stun combo from Agni, but with reinforcements here, of course, he's able to sneak his way out. Mid tower. Yeah.
Yep, that's going to fall down. There's nothing they can really do to defend against this one now, with NQ being down right hand side. Look where FlurryQ is right now. He's going to push in and push this tower down. That tier 1 on the right is going to go instead as well. So Spicy Waffles doing a good job. They're actually looking for the Fire Giant here.
They are indeed. FlurryQ, there's 4 members of Night's Watch here right now. It's a big call. If this pays off, it's down to 50% ready. They need to go now. There's Thanatos up in the air. The Fire Giant's down to the threshold. Bacchus is here as well. Who's going to get this one? Spicy Waffles will secure it. Fight is on. Wolf Velo Street gets a kill. Wolfie finds one back immediately with the Spirit of the 9 wins as the fight is on. In the backside of this fight, Hell still alive, but is out of mana.
Well, she does heal up, but she's going to continue chasing Agni over the wall with the stun going to by Onking. Sorry, Moke's time to chase onto Onking. Onking using what he can to heal up, just duking away till he eventually does die. The rest of his team going to be able to disengage from this one. He's not going to get out of this for sure. Surely, nah, he's dead. He's got to be dead, right? Right?
Yeah, he was looking to delay the inevitable. They're buying themselves some time. I mean, not really buying themselves time for anything, really. Running back to his own side of the jungle, there was really nobody there to help. Moex maybe could have, Bushy maybe could have dropped down his Fields of Love. It was up and available. But it might have been a case of, I'm going to run away, maybe try and get to the enemy tower and get executed instead of giving up a kill. And by the time they realized, hey, we could actually maybe save you, he was too deep in the enemy side of the map to actually turn back around and look to escape that route. So nevertheless, Fire Giant Belt will be on 3 members of Spicy Waffles, so pretty big play for them overall.
It's brought them back to the same goal differential that they had earlier on before the Gold Fury steal now. They've got themselves still in the commanding lead. Bit of a dip, bit of a comeback from Night's Watch, but that fight there, I mean, they did lose 2 members with the Fire Giant, but the ones that they really want to have the Fire Giant on have it. King is very defensive focused here. He's gone for full defensive and Lotus Crown as well, so his power and damage potential isn't that high. But what he's there to do is sustain this team and allow them to keep engaging in. So it's going to be up to the boys of Night's Watch to try and defend once again. The Gold Fury is being sieged. Wolf of Yellow Street has been kept out. This one will drop before he can get in here, and now he might need to watch getting caught himself.
He's at Harp Bomb. A little bit of Serqet poison will do the job as well. So that's a Gold Fury plus a pick on the Wolf of Yellow Street. A big part of the front line for the Night's Watch was just picked up. They're looking for this left side tier 2 tower immediately. Hell is pushing down the mid lane right now. No one is really going to be able to stop her completely 1v1. They can look to deter the push to the tower potentially, but with the 4 members of Spicy bearing down this left side tier 2 tower, it's going to fall quickly. They're not going to look to defend this, and now the question is, will we see the repeat of the last 2 sieges? Or mid tier 2 towers.
They really need Bacchus. They need Bacchus to help them out, or NQ to do a good engage. That's what they're looking for here. Zindan can't really engage in the situation he's in here. It's up to Bacchus to engage with NQ following up, then the team can try and clean up. The thing is, though, the decision making from Spicy Waffles is correct. Get the golden experience lead as big as possible. Take down every tower where we've got the Fire Giant online on 3 members. You abuse that factor before we start the siege.
They might look to defend this one right here. Deathbane already forced out from Serqet. Bacchus in the middle of this one. Toxic down 3 members. Big damage coming out. FlurryQ taking a lot. Belch of the Gods not going to find that stun because of the wall. Here comes Thanatos. Finds the execute onto FlurryQ. That's a lot of health removed from this fight. They're looking for more. The fight's getting scattered. Zindan finds a double. Still in the back. Still alive. Still healthy. Wolf of Velo Street and the side.
It's still a messy fight. Bobat might go down as well here as well. Wolf of Velo Street is going to go down, but so does Ninja Bobat for taking out NQ. It's a crazy fight, but it's working out well for the Night's Watch. The problem being, though, with that whole engagement there, is that, what do? They defend in a tier 2 tower. They can't get anything else off the back of that. There's nothing available for them. They had to defend. It's good the tier 2 tower's still standing, but with Kukulkan and Cupid still alive, still with the Fire Giant for at least a few more seconds, it's going to be a rough ask for them to keep trying to push on and do something with that. It's not a bad defense in the world. I think it was more of a misplay than Spicy Waffles than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, they lost 3 overall to only, I believe it was only 2 by Night's Watch who fell in that. So overall, it was a victory for them. They saved that tier 2 tower. It's a 1,500 less gold in the pockets of Spicy Waffles as well. And it comes down to, do we give up the tower for free and then defend the Phoenix? It's like, if they're all grouped up in front of the tower, it's not the worst position to defend. It's more when they go into a full siege and they potentially loop around the side to look to kind of flank you guys out as well. That's when the tier 2 tower, the defenses get kind of risky. So I actually kind of like the idea that they defend the tier 2. We don't see it happen all that often, but it keeps some extra gold out of Spicy Waffles' pockets. They got some Fire Giant belts off the map, and actually with the Fire Giant belt worn off entirely, they no longer have to worry about that for about 45 more seconds. And the Night's Watch now are in a decent spot to potentially look to contest and do that Fire Giant dance here again in just probably about a minute.
That's the big key to him. The problem is that after that big push, after the fire giant, everybody's now gone back and spent that gold and used it to their advantage. So now the item lead has grown a little bit. The gold was already there, they've just not used it yet. Bobat's looking for a potential pick onto Zindan at the speed buff here. Going to sit in ambush form. They know he's roughly in the area here. Zindan's warding over the wall and he's going to get cleared out by that sentry straight away. Keep an eye on Bobat and what he chooses to do from this ambush.
Could be a pretty big engage. Actually going to break it and just pop back out of that stealth. Head back, pick up some mid-harpy camps. Split that experience with Arden King. And right now, Fire Giant has just respawned. We'll see if Spicy look to rush this one down again. Or if they want to do more of the dance, maybe look for pick onto the Night's Watch. They have some pretty strong initiation. Thanatos coming down from the skies. Plus, of course, that belly flop in from Bacchus. Pretty strong initiation by those guys, but they do have that gold deficit to contend with. A big part of this fight as well is going to come down to can they apply the anti-healing to the correct people at the correct times and stop Arden King from running away with the healing.
Blink in from FlurryQ did put some aggression on, but the turnaround has been okay so far because IQ went aggressive onto Bobat there. Zindan's in the sky looking for a dunk down, but who's he going to go on? He's hesitated as long as he can. Bacchus comes in intoxicate as well. The dunk lands as well. FlurryQ still stands. Everyone's still alive for now, but the whirlwinds are doing good damage to multiple members. FlurryQ has to back away from this. He's being surrounded.
He's the first one to fall. Zender in the back very low, as is Wolf of Straight. The belly flop comes out. They're trying to find more. Moax finds one. Arden King answers straight back. Great to the double as well. NQ on the side. There's Bushy around the corner. Moax about to fall. Heart bomb connected. Carino. This is about to be the triple kill here for one of these guys. Whoever gets it, it's going to be Bushy with that one. They have the opportunity now to go for a tower, to go for a Phoenix as well. Two members survived for the full-on Dia side. That fight was scattered. It was messy. It was all over the place. But Spicy Waffles pulled it together in the end and came out victorious.
Yeah, they did manage to do very, very well in the engagement. FlurryQ was the focus. They wanted to bring him down first and foremost. He was the potential for a kill. That's what he saw Zindan going. They're going to try and get this Phoenix here. They've got a minion wave coming in. Now, Wolf of Elo Street is going to be alive. And he could potentially defend this, but it's not that easy. It's potential, though.
Yeah, he's good. He doesn't have the belt intoxicate yet. You could look for that quick kill on the Wolf.
He's dead. Oh no, the whirlwind. Okay, the whirlwind ran out just in time. That's lucky enough for him. Thought he was actually going to die. They didn't have intoxicate, which he said, otherwise he could have probably defended it a little bit easier than that one. But Phoenix falls down. The Fire Giant is back alive, and the thing is right now is that Night's Watch should rush straight over to the Fire Giant because Bushy's low HP, so is Wolfie, and Arden King's not back there to heal them up. If they can pick one of those two, it's a perfect opportunity for the boys to get themselves back in this one, but Spicy Waffles looking very good right now.
Yep, and first off, this Darkest Night's coming out. Zender about to go up into the air, look to find a pick here potentially. He's swooping in, looking, about to find FlurryQ. Will he go in for the dive? He will not. Going to land by the Fire Giant pit. They might look for the dance. Cupid back, sharing the love with his hearts, but, you know, it's not quite a hell healing back up. It'll help. Every bit, of course, does help, but, you know, they're going to have to contend with that actually second time around. Actually, no, excuse me. Wolfie went back to base. Healed the Falcons. Like, yeah, sorry, Cupid. Your dumplings are delicious, but unfortunately, not that filling.
Problem is now that those two ultimates were just used, it's going to buy Spicy Waffles about 30 more seconds in a minute. And Lawbringer just got used as well. Ninja Bobat still continuing with that chase with FlurryQ there with the free straight afterwards. That should be a dead NQ if the poison keeps ticking away. It will be. But the reach around is going to make sure Ninja Bobat goes down to Carino. 1-for-1 trade jungler for solo laner. This just got more interesting.
With Serqet down, taken down, actually, that's a big pickup for Spicy Waffles. They just took all the anti-healing off the table of Night's Watch. They got rid of the Pestilence, they got rid of the Weakening Curse. They have nothing else to stop Hell in the middle of a fight, so that's a big victory for Spicy overall. Yeah, they're going to lose that burst. I mean, ideally, in the middle of a fight, you want to see her doing a lot of damage to both or Carino or Moax. Although they did a lot on their own, Heart Bomb did not quite connect. Fortunately for Moax, he was just barely able to escape that Fields of Love with that Rising Jaguar. They can definitely look to go for it.
No, Moax is going back. They're actually going to tank the tier 2 town on the right-hand side, first of all, though, exposing the opportunity for them to go for that Phoenix if they need to. But now they should be sieging. They know Moax has to go back to base with that low HP. Moax actually going to farm them into mid to sustain back up again. He's got that Devour's Gauntlet online, which will give him some sustain. And now what we're going to see here, looks like Bushy's going to go back to base here. And they're not going to go for the fire.
Yeah, a little bit of indecision. They could have potentially forced the fight coming out. That little bit of a trade earlier on will have just been a bit of gold traded back and forth overall. Nothing really came of it. They finished off the tier 2 tower, so again, you know, an extra bit of gold for Spicy, but you know, small little victory that potentially could have looked for a big play on that Fire Giant. But again, you know, going up against the Bacchus, it could be a risky play, especially given the fact that, you know, health bars are kind of low. Fields of Love, a big ultimate, was already down, so maybe not the worst decision in the world to go that route. wall thrown
Well,
down.
OnKick does have that ethereal staff online now, so he's going to be tankier, harder to bring down, on top of the fact that he's actually going to deal more damage this time round. So he's going to be keeping an eye on OnKing because they have to bring him down to the Night's Watch to stand a chance. The other big threat, though, to them at the moment is the Bushy. Bushy, 5-0-6 in this game right now. I'm pretty sure he is, yes, top of the damage charts. And that's it up against a Kukulkan and an Agni. He's top of the damage charts.
Yeah, I mean, rough one for sure. Fire Giant is being started up right now. They are going to be aware that this is going on here in just a second. Ninja Bobat on zoning duties, Ender up in the air, looking to come in, stop this attempt. There's the Spirit of the Nine Ones coming in. The Fire Giant is going to be secured successfully by Spicy Waffles. The fight not yet on. They're kind of back and forth. Are they going to look for this one going forward? Doesn't look
No,
like
it's going to
it.
disengage. Disengage from both teams for the time being. Bobat played that so well. Went straight aggressive into the backline, looking for Wolf of Elo Street, keeping him busy so he couldn't come in and to steal that one away. Zindan couldn't do much with just a hog one available to him. He did try and use it blinking, looking for Bacchus, not going to find it. Mid Phoenix is due to spawn in a few seconds time. You'll see it flash any moment, and when it does, then it's time for the siege to continue one more time.
And that they're here, and that Phoenix is weakened. It's going to spawn with next to no health.
It's dead in a second.
Yeah, it's barely gonna. It's not even gonna know it's alive by the time it falls again. The fireman is there as well. They don't even really need to pay much attention to it. Rotating back, like, yeah, maybe we'll just make sure that does go down. Was there even a respawn Phoenix?
There was for half a second. Good one from Flurry Q, going to buy his team time to poke it down. Good freeze onto Zinda too, forcing beads. Bombs from the back from Carino are good. Doing good poke onto Bushy, but he'll sustain back up again. Phoenix is falling lower. Phoenix does fall, but we need an engagement, boys.
There's Toxic command fields of love dropping middles as well. NQ in the back, looking for Bushy, finds a kill into Wolf Elo Street, though. Their front line has just been torn apart already. Ninja Bobat in the back. Carino barely going to survive that poison. Bushy finds the double. The fight still fully committed. There's the Spirit of the Nine Ones coming out. Wolfie gets that kill. 3-0 so far, with the heals coming out from both Cupid and Hell. It's looking like this could very well be the game with only one Phoenix left standing. That Titan is melting, Hindu, and it's about to and will fall.
It looks like that game is well and truly over. Spicy Waffles showing why they placed second so far in the EU tournament. They were placed second in this tournament this week round. They had a fantastic performance. Night's Watch, though, did themselves some credit this week, getting themselves through to the quarterfinals. And now they're going to be facing off against Elo Fishers in the bronze matchup for 3rd, 4th place. Meanwhile, Pantera do advance to the finals to face Spicy Waffles. We'll be joining those boys momentarily as we get ourselves ready for that one, guys. We'll be right back.